Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys know the drill by now. We do this every single month. Today I'm going to be choosing my May TBR from my TBR prompt jar. I'm excited because I feel like I'm out of this weird reading mood that I've been in since the beginning of the year. It wasn't really a book slump, even though I kind of thought it was, because I was still reading consistently. It was just a weird feeling where I feel like a lot of the books that I was reading weren't hitting the same as they normally do whenever I read. But I feel like I can confidently say I am almost, if not already, out of that. So that makes me feel good. I'm excited for May too because I have something really exciting coming up in June that I'm going to be working on in the month of May. So I'll talk about that with you guys sometime at the end of May and I can finally share what's going on. I'm so excited. Speaking of May, let's talk new releases. There's only really one that I'm personally really excited for, and that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is the start of a new series. I guess it is called the Stonewater Kingdom series. I don't know if it's going to be a duology, trilogy, or what. I haven't really heard anything else about it and I have no idea what it's about and I don't want to. I want to go into this completely blind. When I read the One Dark Window duology and I finally finished it this year, it was so good and the writing was just so beautifully done and very gothic and just very different. And I feel like with fantasy as a genre recently, almost everything I've been reading has been so similar and I've been kind of getting a little bored with it. So I'm really excited to read one of her books because I feel like she always just brings something different to the table. And that is coming out the 20th of May. There are some other really big releases, but I feel like I personally am not excited for them because they're a part of series that I haven't read yet or authors I haven't really dove into yet. But I feel like if I had read those authors or had started those series, I would be really excited for them. We have a new Frederick Bachman book called My Friends that's coming out on the 6th. I guess I could technically read that because I believe that's a standalone. And it looks really summery and fun. I have Beartown on here, but I feel like I need to wait to read that until it's winter time because I feel like it's going to be more of an atmospheric read. I guess I haven't read it yet, so I don't really know. So, maybe I will read that whenever it comes out. We also have Carly Fortune's newest release, One Golden Summer. That's coming out on the 6th of May as well. I don't know if I'm gonna read that. I didn't really love Every Summer After, and I've never really absolutely loved one of her books. We also have the 5th book in the Windy City series that I really want to start. It's called Rewind It Back. That's coming out on the 20th. A new Catherine Center book, a new Annabelle Monaghan book. Oh, there's also a new Lynette Noni book, which is kind of surprising. I didn't know anything about that one. Going through this list, I feel like the month of May is pretty stacked. I don't think I'm gonna be reading all of those books, even if I do get to them in the month of May, just because they're not crazy anticipated releases for me, but I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see too. As for specific books that I really want to read in the month of May off of my TBR cart, I think it is finally time to read Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I've been putting this off. I've been saying that I want to read it in the spring and summertime, and it is officially the spring and summertime. Plus it is on my 2025 TBR, so we're also going to be referencing this in this TBR video like we do in every single one. So that'd be nice to get it off this list as well. And I just really want to read another one of her books so bad. Other than that, I feel like there's really nothing specific on here that I really want to get to. I feel like I'm really in the mood for anything. Maybe a few more romances than I normally read just because we are getting into the summer months. I just love reading romances during this time of year. I also, of course, want to focus on my series tracker. I'm honestly feeling pretty good about the series that I'm reading right now, and I might be in the mood to actually start another one. We'll just see what ends up happening from what I pick. Let's just go ahead and start picking. Starting out with our first prompt. Okay, I can never open it with one hand. A book with magic. Okay, that's fun. I could read Olivia Blake's new book, which is called Gifted and Talented. I feel like this book has a lot of family drama in it. Basically, all these 3 kids really want to inherit their family business, and each of them has telekinesis and electrokinesis, which is really cool. And I feel like all of my favorite superheroes always have telekinesis, so this is definitely an option. Onyx Storm, of course, also does have magic. I'm just putting this all off. I feel like this series really isn't for me, and I know that this book is going to be kind of my sign as to whether or not I'm actually going to continue this series or not. So I'm really nervous to read this. This is the 3rd book in the Prison Healer series. This is The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni, and I'm reading the 2nd book in the month of April, so it might be nice to just finish it off in the month of May and closer together. So this would be a really good option. The Wishing Game, I believe, also has magic, or maybe it's not very clear if it does or doesn't. I feel like it looks like it would, but I don't want to say that it does and it doesn't. Sorcery of Thorns has magic. Curse of the Wolf King probably has magic. Looking on the back here, I don't really see anything I really want to read that back. I feel like those ones are on the back for a reason because I've honestly just been putting all of those off. And if I'm not in the mood for it and I don't want to read it, I simply don't want to read it unless I get a specific prompt for it. I can also continue Crescent City. Don't know if I'm ready for that yet though. I feel as if with all of these options, I'm going to choose The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni. I want to finish this series really bad. I really enjoyed the first one, The Prison Healer. I feel like this is just a very fun YA series, and I feel like I would just really enjoy this. So that is going to be our book with magic and our first book on the TBR. On to our next prompt. Unique character name. Okay, that's kind of a fun one. I have a feeling this might be a fantasy book, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what Firefly Lane's names are. Tully? Never heard that one before. That sure is unique. Tully and Kate. I've also heard a lot about the Passion Project. I've been seeing this everywhere recently, and it seems like something that would be like right up my alley. Their names are Bennett and Henry, though, although it is Bennett for a girl, which I've never heard, but it's not like that unique, so I guess that's not an option. What about the favorites? I've been wanting to read this so bad. Katarina and Heath. I don't know, I feel like that's not too unique. Allie and Ethan, definitely not unique. Emily and Jack, Lucy, Harriet and Cal, Leia and Elias. I feel like those aren't even that unique either. I do really want to start this series though, and I feel like if I'm finishing a series this month, I can also start one, you know? I don't know, none of those have been crazy unique though. I know I could probably look at more of the fantasy books, but I think I'm just gonna take this as a sign that I can read this month, and I'm really excited. But also like really scared, because I know it's probably going to tear me apart emotionally. I've heard that this is so beautifully done, and I know that it's about friendship. Any book about friendship, sign me up. I will be sobbing just because it's so relatable no matter who it's written by. And since it's written by her, I could literally read her talk about probably the most boring thing ever. Like if she wrote a book about my life and I already know everything that happens, oh my gosh, I'd be so interested. So excited to read this. Second book on the TBR, Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. Time to pick prompt number 3. A book that's been hyped recently. I feel like this is a really good prompt to get because it's always a fun experience reading the books while like the hype of it, I guess, is going on, because it's kind of like you're reading the book with the rest of the community that is also reading it at the same time. You can be a part of like the discussion. One book that I've had on the TBR since it came out is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I love her books. They're always cute and fun. Sometimes they have real things going on, but it's mainly just like a lighter time. A good palate cleanser, if you will. And this one is about 2 rival teachers, and I've really enjoyed her little Rome, Kentucky series that she's been doing. I believe the last one comes out next year. Plus the cover is super cute, and people are saying this is their favorite Sarah Adams book yet, and it is also on my 2025 TBR. Besides that, we have the favorites and the Passion Project. Onyx Storm as well. I don't know, I feel like whenever I pick this one up, like I just knew I wanted to read it, so I'm gonna pick this guy. Fun little romance on the TBR too, which is what I'm wanting, especially since we're halfway through picking. So Beg, Borrow, Steal is gonna be book number 3 on the May TBR. Looking at the 3 books we have thus far, since we're halfway through, because I normally pick 6 books, I feel pretty good, and I like that we have a good variety, so I feel pretty good going into our 4th prompt. Okay, reading journal chooses. This is gonna be a fun one. This is also so open to interpretation because I can choose any spread on here, and if it fits within anything that I'm wanting to read, then I can do it. So I can pick a book off of our 2025 TBR or our reading bucket list, or a book to continue a series. It really is just a little free-for-all, which is really nice. I feel like doing something off the reading bucket list is almost too free-for-all, honestly, so I'm gonna try and stick to the series tracker or the 2025 TBR so I can actually reach and work towards the reading goals that I really want to achieve this year. I have been really good about trying to continue series and finish series so far this year, and when I read the 3rd Prison Healer book, I will have finished another series. I feel like that deserves a little treat, you know? I feel like I can finally start another series, and I have 3 on here that I could see myself starting. And these are all on my 2025 TBR. We have An Ember on the Ashes, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and lastly, Belladonna. Belladonna is a trilogy. There's 4 books in the Ember and the Ashes series, and then 2 books in Daughter of the Moon Goddess duology. I feel like I should start the Daughter of the Moon Goddess duology because it's just 2 books, but I just really want to read An Ember in the Ashes, in all honesty. These covers are so beautiful, and once I finally read all of them, I'll be able to line them up on my bookshelves all pretty and nice. I believe this is a YA fantasy series, and I've heard amazing things, but I've also heard people just say that it's like okay, like it's not their favorite of all time. Some people even compare it to Throne of Glass, and you guys know, like, we're not even gonna get into how much I love Throne of Glass right now. But if it can give me that feeling and that vibe, then that's what I want. And I believe this series actually originally came out in like 2010, but they just got new covers, and you're telling me that you could leave the bookstore without this beautiful cover and the other ones on the back. Are you kidding me? Anything that's color blocky like that and then has something like this, sign me up. And I really know nothing. I just hope this isn't like all the other fantasy books that I've been reading recently that have kind of been letting me down. Okay, that was a fun prompt. Let's pick prompt number 5. A book from my least read genre. I know for a fact my least read genre is not fantasy and it's not romance, so we can't pick one of those. It's probably a toss-up between mystery and literary fiction, but honestly, I think I've read more mystery at this point. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mysteries, and I have my literary fiction right here. I only have 4 books, so I can pick a literary fiction, which obviously very happy about. I feel like my taste is slowly moving into more literary fiction with like a subplot of romance. I've really been enjoying books like that recently. We could choose the favorites, which I've I've wanted to read for a while. I know this is on my February TBR, or maybe it was my March TBR. I can't remember. But I didn't end up getting to it that month, but I really, really, really want to get to it now. I could also do The Wishing Game because I believe this is general fiction. Is Turtles All the Way Down general fiction as well? I think this is more of a mystery-esque book, and it's also YA, which I do read a lot of YA, so I'm not gonna have this as an option. Fairtown is more literary fiction, but I don't really feel like I'm ready for that yet, and it's not the right season. Little Fires Everywhere, I don't really have to want to read that. I feel like I would rather choose one of these two books instead. And I'm also not picking another Kristen Hanna book to read this month. I don't think I could like actually endure that because I know they're both probably going to be really painful. I really do want to read the both of these, and I'm really excited to read both of them. This one's on my 2025 TBR, but I also have 3 that are on my 2025 TBR on the monthly TBR this month. So I feel like I don't need to pick this one. So I think I'm gonna pick the favorites. I think I'm finally gonna read this. I feel like I'm gonna be absolutely obsessed with this book. It is literally like figure skating. Daisy Jones. Like it's in that like documentary style type of writing. Oh, I fear I'm gonna eat this up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna love this, guys. I fear I'm going to like actually love this book, and I think it might consume me. And I'm nervous, but like also not. Like also really excited. This is gonna be our 5th book on the TBR for this month. Let's go ahead and pick our 6th and final prompt. Okay, spin a letter wheel. This one has a number 5 on it, so we're gonna spin for 5 letters, and we're gonna try and have all of those letters in a title. So it might be a long title. We'll see how this happens. I don't think I've gotten one of these before, and if I have, I definitely haven't gotten this many letters. All right, let's go ahead and spin for our first one. Okay, we have the letter O next. Oh, not me going to an ad. Why are there so many ads? Okay, we have E, T, C, and now for our final letter. S. Okay. O-E-T-C-S is what we're looking for. I feel like that might actually be doable. Go the Distance is an option. This is a Disney Twisted Tale. I've just never really picked this up. I kind of bought this before I was really into reading, but I do love Hercules, so I think I might be interested in this. O-E-T-C-S. Passion Project's an option. O-O-E. No. When I first picked up this prompt, I was like 5 letters in one title. Like that's almost impossible. And then we got the letters and I was like, oh, there's probably so many. There was still only 2. So love that. But you know, 2 is better than none, obviously. I don't think I want to read this month because this is more fantasy-esque. I already have 2 fantasies on the TBR, and we only have 1 romance on the TBR, and I've been hearing amazing things about this one. This is also a new author for me, so I'm gonna put this one back. I guess this one would also be a new author for me, but I just have no interest in reading that. I might end up in-hauling that eventually because I just don't really want to read it. I don't gravitate towards it. Like it's never one that I think of whenever I pick up a prompt or just want to pick it up in general. This book, however, I've heard really great things about recently. This is about a girl named Bennett, and she lives in New York City, which is super cool, and she's kind of going through a hard time in her life, and I guess she meets this guy and they start like this passion project thing that's just supposed to re-spark her passion for life. I feel like that sounds really nice and sounds like a plot that I would really enjoy for a romance book. Kind of giving like Friends to Lover vibes. Not really sure yet, obviously, because I haven't read it, but this just sounds right up my alley, and I love anything set in NYC, and I'm really excited to have another romance on here because I just love reading romance this time of year. That is our 6th and final prompt. Let's go ahead and do a little TBR recap. The first prompt I got was a book with magic. I chose The Blood Trader, which is the 3rd book in the Prison Healer series by Lynette Noni. The second prompt I chose was a unique character name. I ended up choosing Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I'm so excited to read this. Then I picked a book that's been hyped recently. I chose Big Bar Seal by Sarah Adams. After that, I got Reading Journal Chooses. I chose An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, the 1st book in the series. My 5th prompt was a book from my least read genre. I chose The Favorites by Lane Fargo. And then my 6th and final prompt was spinning a letter wheel for 5 letters and having those 5 letters in my title. I don't remember the letters whenever we were picking them out, or else I would say them now, but I know this had all 5 of them, and it is The Passion Project by London Sperry. And here is our final May TBR altogether. I am so excited about reading all of these books. We also have a good genre breakdown. We have 2 romances, 2 fantasy, and 2 literary fiction, so for a mood reader like me, that's going to be perfect. So safe to say May is going to be a really good reading month. If you guys have any thoughts on these books or have read them, go ahead and leave those in the comments down below. We can chat about them down there. And don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, to like and subscribe. And if you watched until this part in the video for the book The Passion Project, go ahead and comment down below the little cityscape emoji so I know who the real ones are who watched until the very end. If you want to keep up with me on the daily, go ahead and follow up my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Goodreads. I'm always posting on all of these, and they're always linked down below in every single video. And that is going to be it for today's video. I love you guys so much and hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!